What is happening, everybody? We are live, baby! Welcome to the Resistance broadcast live outside of Star Wars Celebration. Don't sue us, Lucasfilm. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us. I'm John, James, Lacey. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you to Radiant Beer Co. Ryan helped us put this whole event together, so thank you, Ryan, very,
Ben
very much.
As well. Ben, absolutely.
Yeah, Ben,
Ben's
absolutely.
our sound guy. Thank you, Ben. Also, and if you...
He's alive, though, back there. He's not dead. Like another Ben I know.
Also, a special... Special thanks to Val TRICHKOV, who's the owner of StarWarsNewsNet.com, who helped make this event happen so that you guys can attend a free event, except for the beer. Don't steal beers from Ryan. But thanks to Val. He's probably sleeping now, but he'll be watching eventually. And also a big thank you to our patrons of TRB. A lot of you are here. Again, this stuff would not happen without you. So before we start having fun, a little sentimental, thank you all very, very much for all of your support. It means a great deal to the three of us. Thank you.
I've been blushing for like 30 minutes, so I'm sorry if I look bright red.
So just a little bad news to start the show. We were expecting George Lucas to join us tonight, but he was racing hot rods up in Northern California and couldn't make it. So unfortunately, he won't be here. But so you got three of us, and that's good enough, I think. What do you guys think?
I think so, yeah.
So how you feeling, man?
I am nervous, but also I'm so glad to be here, and I can't believe that everything that we've been planning and dreaming up for the last 3 years is finally here and happening, and I'm looking at all of you, and it's blowing my mind. Honestly. Thank you for being here.
Lacey, how you feeling?
Well, the last time I did one of these, I wasn't a mom. That's kind of a big deal.
Yes.
I'm overwhelmed. As I said, I'm bright red. I'm going to start sweating, so I apologize in advance.
It is good that we got cloud cover.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm so pumped to be here, guys. It means so much to all of us that you're here. We're ready to talk about Star Wars. There's been a lot of stuff this week. Thank God.
And it's gonna be a pretty typical TRB show. We like to keep it as we usually do it. So we're gonna kick things off with a little segment we like to call Will of the Force.
I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
Thank you.
Weird on that one.
Thank you, Chirrut.
Yeah.
He can't see you, but you can see him. James, what do we got, buddy?
We got a couple questions here. We're going to kick it off. You guys know how it goes. Will of the Force, right? Question 1 is going to be, if and when Kathleen Kennedy moves on from Lucasfilm, will Dave Filoni wear the hat and take over as president?
Get it? Hat. Because he has a hat.
She wrote that bit.
That question.
I'm going to start with you, Lacey, on this one. What are you thinking about Dave Filoni?
I think he will. I honestly think they're getting him in a position that he's going to be like, he is the next George Lucas. And I think from what we saw, which first of all, I hope he hosts every single panel, because he was amazing.
He was so good
at the Lucasfilm Showcase. He was hilarious.
And Mando today was he was so good.
He was so amazing,
Yes.
so personable, and I really hope that he does take up that position, because I think he just gets it. And I think he gets us.
And he did, like, the panel I saw with him on, I think it was the Showcase.
Yeah.
He was obviously on script, but he really did a good job of making it seem off the cuff and that sort of thing.
He actually did go off script.
Favreau
I was being
did.
that sneaky person that was looking at the teleprompter.
Oh, he did too? Okay.
Kathy did not go off script. She was word for word.
Right.
What? Yeah.
She does the two-handed
Harrison
whole
just
thing,
threw it
too.
out the door. He was like, nah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Favreau did, because she walked off stage, and he's like, Kathy, come back here. And then he's like, just so you know, because all the people who are like, the Star Wars I like, she didn't do. The Star Wars I didn't like, she did. And he's like, no, she's the person. So I just want to make that clear. And she's like, oh, thank you. And she gets off stage.
I bet he has a burner account. John Favreau.
Oh, yeah.
don't
I bet
doubt
he
it,
has a
yeah.
burner account.
It's probably that other one that people think is him, that John Favs
John
or whatever.
Favs.
Yeah, that's probably actually John Favreau.
Yeah, go look that up if you haven't checked it out. He gets tagged in like everything.
Yeah, all of his tweets are like, oh, "Your money, baby."
That's
Yeah,
like during the
exactly.
Oscars when that guy was named Will Smith. And the
Oh,
Will Smith
that's
thing
right.
happened, and he
That's
just
right.
wrote,
Yeah.
"Tonight's gonna be bad for me."
Well, John, what do you think? Do you think he's going to take over?
I don't. I think they might follow, because Marvel's just like with Kevin Feige and stuff like that. I think they're going to do the creative head thing, and he might be in charge of that. But I think Disney is very corporate in the sense where they like business people in those positions. So I think they'll put someone who's more of an executive there and let Filoni be the creative driver. But he'll be top at one point. He's only 47. We've looked that up today. He's a young guy.
We Googled.
We Googled. Yeah, we were waiting 2 hours for the Mandalorian experience.
Worth it.
sitting on the rug to my feet have been killing me. But I think he'll be head of creative one day, but not run Lucasfilm as president. That's my answer.
Yeah, I think I'm more in line with that. I think that it's come down to a couple people saying that it's one person to be this and it's one person to like run this company, kind of like running a company. And I just don't know that even though Dave is as talented as he is and he's come from here to here to here and he just keeps going and it seems like, well, one day you're going to run this company. I just kind of feel like that's a different job. Like if he were as smart as he seems like he is, he would know I need to get the right person to do this. The same way that Kathleen Kennedy is saying, I'm not writing the stories. I'm not keeping track of the lore. I need to get the right people to do this.
Yeah.
And that type of collaboration is what makes Star Wars and Lucasfilm what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? So we have crowd participation tonight,
Uh-oh.
right?
With hands? We're
yes,
gonna do
but let's do the hand thing. So, like, where are you guys feeling about Dave Filoni becoming president or, like, leading Lucasfilm beyond Kathleen Kennedy?
It's okay.
So
Agree with me.
if you
It's
think,
all right.
If you think he will replace her, raise your hand.
Raise your hands.
Getting a
All of
couple?
them.
Yeah?
Put them up.
So like 6 people.
So then I'm assuming, are you guys more in line with him just being kind of a higher elevated role, but not president?
So he won't.
Charlie,
Okay.
how could you
All
do
right.
this to me?
Man of the people.
Oh, my gosh.
Man of the people.
Well,
One for one.
Oh, shoot.
James,
Dump it.
It must be a spam or something. I don't
Dump
know what it is.
it.
I can't believe.
Okay.
Had they called 10 minutes ago, maybe.
Oh, my
Mom?
gosh. Yeah.
Oh, if it was my mom, then pick up.
I can't talk right now. I'm doing a live show. No. Let's move on to the second question, though. It comes, John here. Oh, shoot. Is there,
We
is there
practiced.
silence?
We practiced.
What was that sound? What was that?
It was a voicemail. I hope it's not my mom. It says it says it's unknown, but
Do you guys want us to listen to
no,
it?
no.
Listen now. Listen.
Dang it.
All right, well,
All right.
let's
Okay, well, let's play it.
let's check it out.
Here we go.
New message.
Hello, John, James, Lacey. This is George Lucas, creator of the Star Wars saga. You probably already knew that. Ultimately, I'm not going to be able to come to your live Resistance broadcast event. I'm kind of busy working on some smaller films. Physically smaller films. The entire crew is people that are no more than 1 to 2 inches. So you want to talk about inclusivity? Listen, I'm the guy that made Willow, for crying out loud, right? So these films are so small that I'll probably not even see them, because they use little miniature cameras and monitors. So I don't know if anyone will ever see these movies, but I guess we'll find out. Anyway, I just want to say good luck, with your show, and I hope you kill it, the way they almost killed Harrison with that door, the Falcon door on The Force Awakens. There's a bunch of idiots. J.J. Abrams, what a clown. Anyway, well, because I won't be there, I just wanted to kind of contribute something. So I had my production assistant, well, he's my intern, really, Rick McCallum. Maybe you've heard of him. I had him place a picture of my favorite Star Wars character, Jar Jar, under one of the chairs in your audience. So whoever finds that is going to win a copy of the original Star Wars, the way I always intended my films to be seen. Wait a second. I didn't write that. You better include that Jabba and Han Solo sequence. I just love when he steps up on him, steps on his tail.
Hal Hickel
So funny.
hates that scene.
Anyway. All right, well, Misa happy. Misa wishing you good luck. Have fun, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate that.
check under your chairs. I promise there's probably something there, is my guess. So reach down below your chair.
Way down in
You'll
there.
feel something. And
Oh, there it is.
oh my gosh!
Misa happy. Misa Jar Jar. Oh, what is that?
Oh. It says
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
What is it?
Star Wars on Laserdisc. Congratulations.
That's legit. Good luck watching that. That's probably from his personal collection.
I think so.
If I had 4 more beers, Jeremy, I would have tripped right over that and smashed my face.
Sorry, Ryan. I'll pick that up, I
Before we
promise.
get going, that was not the real George Lucas. I don't know if you guys have seen the deep fake George Lucas videos. That was Josh Robert Thompson, who's been on the Craig Ferguson show and Family Guy and stuff. We reached out to him, and he does such a great impression. And he said, "I'll do it, no charge." And so thank you to Josh Robert
Yes,
Thompson for
absolutely.
doing that, man.
It's
Appreciate
also
that.
just George Lucas.
Yes.
yeah.
So Will of the Force.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
All right, question 2 we got here going on. I know you guys are going to be excited about this one. Will we see Alden Ehrenreich again as Han Solo?
What's Solo?
Yeah, exactly. John, I'm starting with you on this one. What do you think?
I'm nervous because it's clearly going to be a split crowd on this. Yes, man. Make Solo 2 happen.
Yeah.
And whether it's a movie or series or he shows up in Lando or something, I think he should come back, and my heart believes he will, because Star Wars is about hope, and I hope he does come back, because he was an awesome Han Solo. I don't care what anybody says.
Lacey.
Yeah, so if you asked me a week ago, I'd probably say no, based on
Because of the
Kathleen
yeah.
Kennedy's comments. But she retracted them 2 days ago, so I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
That's right, Kathy.
it was interesting because I think everybody took those comments as like a hard right, and now she's backtracking hard left. But it always felt like she was saying never say never, and now she's kind of saying never say never.
Right.
So
I think
right?
so. I think there's no way that they cast all those young people to not pick up the role again later.
Yeah.
I know we're getting a Lando series, so that's why her recasting comment didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see him back, make Solo 2 happen. I think it's going to happen.
And I think I'm on that page too. I just think like they're aware of it. You know, they've told like we've had conversations with people that say they know. We've said it on the show before. Michelle Wejwan. We're very aware of what you guys are doing.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and we love it. We love the support. She took a picture of my shirt and sent it to John Kasdan. You know, it's like they know what we're doing, and they know.
I was the
we
one that
want
yelled
it.
Solo at them, by the way, in the panel.
Yeah.
I was like, Solo! and Ron was like, "What?"
Oh, the showcase panel?
The showcase
And then
panel.
at the ILM one, I was the idiot who yelled make Solo
Yeah.
2 happen. Yeah.
Really moving the campaign.
Yeah.
But also, it was not just these two idiots. It was
Right.
all through the room. Hey, self-proclaimed.
You're the idiot for not doing it.
Yeah, you're kind of an idiot.
Yeah, I wanted to see if it happened, and it did. It was so good.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with that. I'm going yes, he will.
3 for 3.
I think down the line, as John likes to say, we're going to see him here or there. I don't know if it's Solo 2. I don't know if it's the Ventures of Han Solo, but Alden Ehrenreich will be back. That's what I said.
Yes.
Do we even need to ask them?
No.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Woo! All right, we got a third question here. All right. Will the classic Skywalker lightsaber, this is, of course, Anakin's, Luke's, Rey's now, will it be dug up and used again in future live-action Star Wars? So Lacey gets to go first on this one.
That's rough because I don't want to see it again. I really love Rey's yellow saber. I know that's news to everybody. That I like the yellow saber.
Yeah. You have
So
2 of them, don't you?
I do have 2.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
sorry.
in case you break one.
Now there's two
I
of
just
them.
don't think they're going to be dug back up. But at the same time, I know we've talked about it before about when you by digging it up, you're kind of tying it back into the story. I just don't want to see it. I want to move forward with the story, and I think that Rey used some of the crystals from those to make hers, and that's why it's yellow.
Oh, I
Because
didn't
it
even think
switches
about that.
between blue and green to make the yellow. So I'm
Possible.
going to say no.
Yeah. Can I jump in before you, John?
Yeah. So I think. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I would normally say no to this, but I think I'm going to say yes. And I understand the difference here, but we just saw someone dig up 2 classic lightsabers out of the sand.
Shut up, Gene.
You all knew it was happening anyway. Come
Yeah.
on. And seeing that moment and seeing how people reacted to it, I think that was a little bit of a test for them to say, how long does it take these lightsabers to be buried? 10 years? 20 years or something like that. So when I think that's where they're going. When we do see Rey come back at some point, those lightsabers are probably going to get dug up, and it will have some bigger meaning. Maybe as we were kind of teased in Force Awakens, like, oh, he's a Jedi killer and they're hunting relics and remember all that stuff?
Yeah.
Like, that seems like it still could be a thing that someone would want that lightsaber, and it could be part of the story.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say no, because you're usually like the finality guy. You're
Well,
like,
yeah, but I mean, like I said, I just saw it, and I
Yeah,
thought...
true. So
that-
the-
that's-
I honestly forgot about
That's it.
that.
yeah, so Obi-Wan swayed you. Like, so you didn't see Obi-Wan, you would have said no. So Obi-Wan just completely swayed you the other way. That's interesting. All right.
surprising for me, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, yes. I think yes. I don't know. You kind of persuade me that she may have gutted them from the crystals, which is a really good point. But I think it would be interesting if, like, I could just picture like some sort of teaser trailer where there's a fade into the desert like they always do, and some dark hooded figure shows up, conjures those 2 puppies up, and maybe puts red crystals in them or something, and
Red Bull?
we really turn everything around. But I just have a feeling there's such a vast open canvas after episode 9. I'm getting way too close, sorry. That I think we will see them again, and they'll be used and ignited, but maybe not in the way that we traditionally have known it to be.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I get that. And then it's to you guys. What do you think? So let's go first. Do you think that they're going to get dug up, used again in later stories? Hands up. Hands up. Well, here's our split. This was a good
Yeah.
one.
Wow.
All right. So then hands up if you think that they're buried. That's it. That's the
Charlie,
end of the story.
thank you.
That's
I don't know. I don't know who won that. Like, honestly, I'd have to sit there and count.
Should we do a woo?
Maybe let's do a woo.
Do it again and do
All right,
a woo.
Do it again. First one, they're
They
coming
will.
back. They
Yeah.
will come back. All right.
Come on, Charlie.
Buried and done. Let's woo.
Oh, you got that one.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, not yet.
Oh.
So, whether or not they do come back in canon Star Wars, we decided we'll bring it back today. and we're going to give away one of the Legacy lightsabers right now to somebody. And Lacey, I think you've decided. Yeah. Hey, Charlie. Don't bury it, Charlie. Congrats, buddy.
He's gonna go home and be like,
Yeah.
yeah!
All right. Awesome, man.
He's like, wait, I get to keep it? Yes, you do.
Yeah. All right. So then now that's it for Will of the Force, and we're going to move into our next section, which is our discussion.
Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
A lot of people point to that line now about them fighting and, you know, what's going to happen in Kenobi. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, we've been using that forever, and now that's the one people go to talk about, like, what are they going to get into when they see each other. Which might, I mean, it's a good way to start, I guess. So this discussion's more, like, no topic focus or anything like that. It's more of just, because we all just got a lot of info, and we saw 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which felt like a movie.
Yes.
You guys know I love open-ended. So.
Yeah.
Great.
And I think it was like an hour and a half out of the 2 episodes. So, like, just starting there, I really, really dug the first 2 episodes of that show. And the thing that really stood out to me, 2 things. One was, I love The Mandalorian. I really like the Book of Boba Fett. I like the crazier Book of Boba Fett stuff than, like, the earlier Tusken Raiders. Like, I like the Rancor and the wildness of the last chapter, which I think was most people's least favorite. But for some reason, I had such a roller coaster ride with that one. But the Kenobi series felt very cinematic and, like, big in scale. It felt like it was a movie. And that was the first thing that stood out to me. And then the second was Ewan McGregor being right back in the pocket, having really good dialogue to work off of. You know, no offense to the prequels. There was some choppy dialogue. I still love them very much. But he is clearly doing this perfect meld that he kind of talked about in the interviews of transitioning to the, like, Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan in his voice, so it's more of a like a throaty thing, and then how he moves around, even his, like, little nuances to his body. And the one thing that stood out to me the most is when he grabs Leia by the hand on Dayu. Is that it? The planet Dayu, which is like Blade Runner. Like, that was like looks so much like Blade Runner. But he, like, took her hand and he started, like, crawling like this. And I was like, the first thing I thought of was Alec Guinness, like, creeping around the Death Star, like, in hiding. And I think, like, Deborah Chow, like, probably, like, helped him channel that. And I love that it's not, you know, because he still has 9 years to go to get to that point, but there's clearly a transition there, and I really appreciate how they did it. They everything about this series so far in the first 2 episodes, they've towed the line, like, perfectly, in my opinion. I don't know, I really enjoyed that. That was the first 2 takeaways for me.
Yeah, I think this Kenobi show is going to be awesome, I think.
Yeah.
Wait,
Third of the
I'm
way
sorry.
through.
Can you repeat that?
Can you believe this guy?
Can you repeat that, James?
I never said that it was not going to be
We
good.
don't need to see him grumpy in the desert. We don't need this show.
I said, you know, I think when it first came around, that was my mindset. And to some degree, it still is, which is not, they're not giving us that, though, you know? What I thought the show could be, what fans have sometimes said, that's what they want to see. I said, I don't think we need that. That doesn't serve any purpose. And they've since kind of changed the story around. Well, he's going to go on an adventure. He's going off planet. He has to go, you know, rescue this. And there's the Inquisitors are hunting him and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can believe that. I can buy into that. That starts to make sense. And with all things Star Wars, I say, I give it the benefit of the doubt, always. Like, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not sure about that story, but let's go on that journey.
Yeah.
And so far, these first 2 episodes showed me that it's going to have a lot of weight, and it will pay off, and it will be what fans wanted, you know? And I think there's a lot to it. I'm very excited about the show and how it all wraps up. And we also don't know if they're going to do more.
So,
you know, they're saying that. Ewan's
was it
saying
Rex?
that. What?
You've been racking your mind about this. Was it Rex?
I'm saying it's not Rex.
All right.
That's where I'm
How many
at.
people think it's Rex? Too much hair.
Too much hair.
So then are you guys with me that it's not Rex? Okay. Yeah, it's just, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Tamara Morrison's gonna make so much money just playing.
He is making so much
That's why
money.
he's like been the hardest partying person at Celebration. Everyone's like, you saw him, Mike. Yeah, you saw him at a bar. Like everyone's like, yeah, that guy's just partying hard this week.
living his best life.
He just got all this clone money he's throwing around the convention.
My initial reaction to that was, that's Rex, holy
Me
cow.
too.
And I think the audience did the same
audience
thing.
in the room gasped because they thought it was.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, we're about to get a really crazy moment, and then it just kind of didn't happen. And I thought, he's walking around with Leia, talking about the Force, talking about Jedis, and he's whispering, so it's not like they can't absolutely stay quiet. He is talking a little. So then we get to that scene, and it just doesn't make sense that he wouldn't say Rex, or vice versa. Like,
fair.
Obi-Wan, is that you? And have a moment.
That's what threw me off, is I was like, if they knew each other, he would have said something.
Yes. So I think you just got to look at it and you're like, okay, well, this guy's clearly 501st to some degree. He's got the outfit, but I just don't think it is Rex. But we now have an idea of what it could look like.
Yeah, on the subtitles for Disney Plus. So I didn't watch it at the premiere. These guys did. I didn't. So I watched it in a completely different environment than that hype environment of like fans. It says veteran. It says Clone War veteran or something like that.
Really?
It doesn't say Rex. Yeah.
All right, that's interesting.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your takeaway from the 2 episodes? What stood out to you? What were things that you noticed that jumped out?
I loved it. I thought Ewan was great. I thought, it was such an exciting feeling to see him back on screen, especially because we know that he worked so hard to make this show happen. Yeah. There were so many years that he had to secretly hide it from press and fans, where he's like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, true.
And then ended up that he was doing it, And he showed up at the solo premiere, which we were like, that's weird. And now we know why.
You said he sat next to Ray Park,
He
too.
did. He sat next to Ray Park, which is also very interesting.
Yeah.
But I loved the show. I thought it was great. I think there were some things that kind of stuck out to me, but again, I watched it at 7 a.m. In the morning by myself, so I have to go back and watch it again.
I haven't watched it twice yet. Yeah,
because it's been a week that you're getting hit with a lot of information and you're like, wow, this is a lot. I don't know what to
Yeah.
I think the thing that stood out to me was the Jawa conversation at the beginning was awesome.
It was so
I
funny.
laughed out loud for a while. It was just so perfectly done between the Jawa and him. It was great. I loved Joel Edgerton. I thought he stood out in that episode. I thought he was wonderful. And he completely connected his character with the one we meet in A New Hope. It was the same person.
Wow.
I thought the Inquisitors were very scary, which is good. That's their
Yeah.
job.
Reva specifically.
Yeah, Reva was fabulous.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was really great, and I knew watching it that it was building towards something. I think I've learned since Mandalorian Season 1 to kind of tamper my expectations, because I've been 11 heads out of 11.
Yeah.
And now I'm
yeah.
going in and I'm like, okay, maybe this was more of a 7. So I have a couple criticisms, which I'll get to, but I feel like compared to these guys, I was like, well, there's a couple things that I like and a couple things I didn't like. But I promise you, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think so the Leia thing, is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, so this is a rough topic from
Yeah.
what I've seen online.
Yeah.
Look, I think she was great. I think she was Princess Leia.
Yeah.
I just think that they went a little hard towards the end of the episode with her.
To Leia, is that what you're saying?
No, too little kid.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry. I don't know about anybody else. When I was a little kid at one point, if I was scared or in a bad situation, I wasn't constantly yelling and asking questions. Also, she ran really slow. It was really weird to me how slow she ran.
I wish my son ran that slow.
Right, and that's
man.
what I don't know if anybody's ever seen that meme with the guy on the beach in the Speedo that's running away from the camera, and he's like, oh, stop. That's what she felt like to me. I was like, just run fast. What are you
She ran about as fast as a Tatooine speeder, right? Book of Boba Fett.
Oh my God, dude. Welcome. You came right at the right point,
Just
man.
talking about you.
The Grand Inquisitor just showed up.
Wow. And the Graduate.
I won't give my critiques of him. No, I thought it was great. I think she's a fabulous version of Leia. I loved all her outfits and the callbacks to we see in the original trilogy. Her hair, obviously. I'm a big hair person of Star Wars.
Yes.
You know that. And what else? I loved the connection of the ship in the beginning that Luke has in A New Hope. I cheered at that.
Oh, the Skyhopper toy?
Yep.
Man,
And I
Santa Obi-Wan.
It was wonderful. And I
Yeah.
think my second favorite moment outside the Jawa, which is kind of funny that everyone's like, oh, this moment. I'm like, the Jawa was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Was the point where he realizes Anakin is still alive. That was such
Oh,
a
yeah.
good moment. And it was perfect. And I played it back twice. It was that good.
Yeah, and I think what is so like startling to me is because we keep seeing, Hayden Christensen and his like smiley, happy, good-looking
Yeah.
face in all these interviews, and you forget like he's coming back as Darth
You said
Vader.
that really angry. Smiling,
Smiling,
good
happy.
looking.
Yeah, it's like sand. or Tusken Raiders in the prequels.
How dare he be so good
Yeah,
looking?
not Tusken Raiders are the good guys, but you almost forget like he's playing Darth Vader, and then they show the close-up of him in the tank, and he just looks like so evil, so
Horrifying.
horrible, and the music's
Yeah.
booming, and the breathing in the bacta tank. It's like
Horror movie.
Yes, like Jason Voorhees coming out of the lake or something, like Michael Myers style. Yeah, but
It's always creepy in movies and stuff and TV where like someone has their eyes closed and they just open them randomly.
and was that a slow push? Would we call that a slow push?
Was it a slow?
It
It was
was
a
a slow
out.
pull.
Yeah,
Slow
pull.
pull. Yeah. Another thing I really liked was the relationship between Bail and Leia, though. I thought that was
Yes.
really, really cool.
Yeah, there were so many points in that, like him, throwing out his pinky and all that.
Oh man, yeah.
That's a Casper reference for those people that don't know. Casper, 1995. Christina Ricci. Anyone?
Oh yeah.
Come on, I always talk about this movie. Go watch it. Why do I?
It's like you two with Tron Legacy. I'm like enough.
I love
Yes.
Tron Legacy.
God.
But, side note, Maverick, amazing.
Amazing.
Top Gun
movie.
was really good.
Top Gun
Not-
too. Yeah.
Same director, love
Yeah.
that. No, you're exactly right though about the Bale stuff. Like I felt like their connection was elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the found family thing, like the kids, her cousins were picking on her because you're not an Organa and stuff. And it made me think of like the Rey stuff. She, Rey Skywalker, and a lot of people don't like that, and that's fine. But Rey found her family. She threw away her DNA legacy and said, no, this is my family. And that's the same thing with Leia. And Bale's sitting there saying, like, don't ever think that way. You are every bit in Organa. And I thought that connection between father and daughter, because I have a 1-year-old daughter now. I was sitting there, me and him, we didn't have seats yet because we just got there in time, and you helped us get in.
Yes.
We had passes, but we got late and they cut us out. Like 7 o'clock, they're like, get
I
you're
got
out.
ins.
She's got ins. But so we're sitting on the back wall, and I felt like, when you get well up a little, but not up here and like right here, I was like, oh my God, him talking to her and like making her feel better about her situation was like so on the money. And Jimmy Smith's like back. That guy
He was great.
So good.
He was
Oh my
great.
God,
He was
yeah.
fabulous.
I couldn't even tell you what the moments were, but
I loved him
definitely
arguing
got-
with Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, it was very cute, him with Leia. But the part where he's like being like, Obi-Wan, what are you doing?
Yeah, true.
Like,
I
I
forgot about that.
saved you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where was I going with that?
I don't know. But I have to say, I do have a favorite because I feel like I was a little hard on Leia, and I get it. And I don't want to be that person. The thing I did enjoy about Leia, which was like my favorite part, is her knowing what people are thinking and feeling. Clearly, she's showing her use of the Force early, which I love because we don't obviously get that in the original trilogy, but then she does it in the sequel trilogy, so you're like, well, what happened here? But the fact that she was like, she knew the inner workings of what someone thinks, and then she
Yeah.
used it as a burn, like, that's what I would do. I would totally do that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Like this is what kind of celebration. I know I'm going way off. This is kind of what
Classic.
celebration is all about. I'm like, I didn't get that at all, but I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm
When she's
like,
talking to her cousin and
oh.
she's like, it was very much Rey talking to Kylo, where she's like,
Oh,
you're
I didn't even
afraid.
think about that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's like that stuff is so important. Like listening to the other side of like maybe what you didn't get. You don't always have to agree with what you're hearing, but often if you let it in, you're like, okay, maybe. How do I know that wasn't the intention of the scene?
Yeah.
Because she does it with the cousin, and then she does it with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and again, that's that towing the line thing. Because if they had her like doing
Force
force
grabbing
stuff, I
things,
would be
yeah.
like, that's terrible. Because like then what happens in the original trilogy?
And then
like
it
you
ties
said.
it back to Return of the Jedi, where she goes, it's just a feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So she has these. It's almost like that kid's really smart and stuff. She doesn't realize it's because she has these strong bonds with the Force. It's just
Right.
unrealized, but it's there
Right.
in a very natural, like a good student or something,
Which
Yeah.
then leads back to Kylo, where he
Yeah.
can read minds really easily.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. True.
And just a quick one too for you guys. like, because I think we'll probably all agree with this, but did you guys think Obi-Wan was talking about Satine at the end when he says, "I used to know someone like you"?
Padme.
Padme.
Okay.
Talking like I knew your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
I
another
thought-
one of those moments. I was like, oh.
I had
man.
it. I was like, it's Padme, and then I thought technically it could be Satine, and then, but I know this has got to be Padme. And then
Yeah.
I had some friends saying, "Do you think he was talking about Satine?" And I'm like, so I'm not. I wasn't the only one that it popped in my head, but I'm sure Occam's razor here. It's Padme.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan is a very selfless person. If he was talking about Satine, that'd be a selfish thought. He'd be thinking about his own feelings. He was talking about that girl's mother and
Yeah.
how she's
Yeah.
connected to her. And that was another, like, again, walking that line the right way where you're referencing the prequels in a way without it being like a super wink-wink thing. So Joby Harold, like, there were a lot of writers on this show, but he, took over, like Lawrence Kasdan taking over Empire
Tony
Strikes
Gilroy.
Back. And Tony Gilroy with Rogue One, and by the way, he was amazing at their panel.
He was great.
He's like, just so everyone knows, I don't care if they are secretive here. 2 seasons, it ends right up until Rogue One. See you guys later.
My favorite thing about him with Rogue One was he was like, yeah, I gutted it, but it's better.
Yeah.
Are we wrapped on Kenobi? Should we talk about some of the other stuff?
Yeah. So, what do you want to get into? I mean,
That's a good segue right there.
Yeah.
Andor trailer. Like,
Man.
wow.
Yeah.
So I saw it and I was like, this reconfirms my Rogue One love.
Yeah.
I'm very much into this.
Absolutely.
And
Vader's got to top that, by the way, really quick. They got to bring Vader in, and he has to be more bad than he was in Rogue One to top what he did in Rogue One
That's
in
true.
Kenobi. So I'm
That's
excited
true.
to see what they do.
True.
So then I was glad they actually put this footage online as opposed to say Mandalorian and Ahsoka now
Is
as
the
well.
Mandalorian stuff not out yet?
No. Yeah.
Well, except leaks or whatever.
Yeah.
We want blurry cell phone footage.
Yeah. Let me see it all.
Yeah.
No, but I was glad I got to watch the Andor stuff, and I watched it, 3 or 4 times through, and I'm just soaking it all in, just the beauty and how many locations there are. We all have seen what they do with the volume, and it's amazing. But sometimes I think we can admit it's still, you can kind of almost tell it feels like we're on that same planet a lot, and he goes back to the same planet a lot.
Yeah.
And just seeing Andor go, there's a very specific segment of the trailer where they're showing the back of a character. They're saying, it's happening all over the galaxy, and it's like a shot, of a different planet, a different planet, a different planet, a different planet. And I'm just like, I cannot wait for this. This has been my most anticipated, and that trailer pays off for me. Big
Similarly,
time.
I loved the shots where it was the characters walking away from the camera with their backs, and they were shooting from character to character to character.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
the same thing?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I've
She's gonna
found
have a big
out-
role because they have her in every panel, and she's like, second build.
I have come to terms with I am a secret Mon Mothma's favorite character fan.
You made a lot of changes recently.
Such growth.
Yeah, I feel like
Really proud of you.
you like
bud.
Kenobi now.
I
Really
feel
proud.
Like,
They're
feel
digging
like,
up lightsabers.
I feel like I've been talking
You
about
hate
Mon
Chipotle.
Mothma. No. I love that Chipotle. I've been talking about Mon Mothma a lot over the years, but it's only recently that I've been like, I really admire that character, and I think she's super underrated. I mean, we talk about the Emperor being the head of the Empire so often, and we're like, that's the guy, he controls it all. And we forget, we think, of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo who are leading the rebellion. It's not them, they're the poster people. It's Mon Mothma. She's the brains behind it all, the actual leader of the Alliance.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see her get a little bit more than just a cameo in Rogue One. Be like, oh, we brought that character back, this one that had one line, and she's important, but she still didn't even really get that light in Rogue One. She just kind of sets the mission going.
Yeah. Rogue One, it's funny because like Solo, it had a lot of issues, production issues. They rewrote a lot of stuff, like the trailer. A lot of stuff wasn't there. Them running on the beach with the plans that didn't get in the movie. The Vader thing was a late ad, I think. And it's all the Tony Gilroy
Canary
stuff.
Wharf.
Yeah. And then he comes in, does that, and then they bring him back in for this, which I think he wasn't originally on this either. And then they bring him in.
No, they did bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then but it's going to be interesting because the first season is going to be 12 episodes, and then the second season's and that's going to be 1 year, and then the second season's going to take 4 years. So this first season's really going to be really stretched out. There's going to be a lot of exposition. early stages of Cassian. I think we're going to see him when he was 6 years old as a reference to like Rogue One to see like what did that mean? Like what did that mean when he said, because when he said that he was a pretty calm guy even when he was shooting a fellow rebel in the back. When he said that to Jin, that's like when you get fed up and you're like boiling up so much.
It's John talking to me on a daily basis.
All right, let's settle down.
I love this aspect too. That's kind of like maybe an unknown fact. I don't know if you guys know or not, but Cassian grew up in a separatist family. Like that's the side he was on.
Yeah.
He was against the Jedi.
Do you think we'll see him as a little Cassian? Like in the first scene or something? Like,
yeah, sure. I mean, like we're watching Obi-Wan, and we didn't expect to see Order 66 with children.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah.
Can I just say, that was really depressing to be like, I am so excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm by myself in my room, and they open with the kids, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And I like double checked that I was watching the right thing. Yeah. I was like,
oh,
this
yeah.
is...
We walked in just like 10 seconds after it
Lacey's
started.
like, Clone Wars looks good now.
Him and I were running up the stairs to that premiere event, and we heard all the sound effects, the lightsabers, the blasters, and we found a new gear, and we're like booking it up the stairs, and we go in, and it's already like happening. So it was just, I don't know.
We're trying to walk into the room, and we're like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. And then you're like, yeah, you feel like you're watching it as a movie and all that. But yeah, the whole, I don't know, the Andor thing's going to be interesting what they do with the second season, because I imagine that'll be 12 episodes also.
What they're going to do is bring K2 in.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason I'm watching.
Alan Tudyk. Yeah, for sure. But
I was excited though, and then they said no, and I was like,
well, he said he was originally announced when they did
on
the D23.
Yeah,
and then
typical Star Wars, they give it to you and then they take it away.
Tony Gilroy maybe came in and said, "We're gonna put pause on you. We're gonna," because and my theory on that.
I appreciate it. Look, I know they're telling the right story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just a selfish thing of I love that character because his jokes are the best jokes in this. I think in the whole movie.
I agree, but I think when you have a sidekick like that, which he's comic relief, I think it will handcuff Cassian a bit in terms of us learning about Cassian before. I think Cassian, especially it's a spy show. And
season 2 is gonna turn into like buddy cop.
Yeah, like James Bond doesn't have a robot sidekick, and he's supposed to be like a spy. Like I think it would be handcuff him to be with K2SO. So Gilroy probably comes in, says, "We're gonna hold off on you, move you to season 2. This is gonna be just Cassian, and then pour him one out for K2SO." Thank you, James. Appreciate
pour
that.
Pour one out. I think season 2 they're gonna bring him in, and it's gonna be like one of those things like I don't need a partner, and they're gonna be like you need a partner, and he's gonna be like no,
we
I'm
know
better
how
than
it
this.
happens.
I work solo.
I mean, assuming they keep the canon, we know kind of how it happens. Yeah, but also, I'm also thinking, like, it's interesting they're saying you're going to meet a different Cassian than you recognize in Rogue One. This one's very jaded.
He shot a dude. How's that different?
I was like, well, that's where it started. That was what made Rogue One so great, is he started, like,
killing dudes.
Yeah.
Upset with the way things are and jaded and not sure of anybody, very untrusting, trust goes both ways. You know, he had to earn that. So it's kind of interesting. I not that I think it's going to be bad or anything. I just think, like, I hope they don't go the route where he's like happy by the end of the show, and then you watch the movie and you're like, whoa, what happened? Overnight, you're back to your old ways.
He's killing dudes over here.
Yeah. So I think he's kind of got to stay jaded to the whole show, and I think that's what, to me, I think that's what will make it interesting. Right. I don't feel like he needs a strong arc because I know his story. I'm excited to see the
I think that
war
woman is his love interest.
Him.
The more I saw her.
Oh, I don't
Or
doubt
she's
it.
related to him or something.
Well,
the one running in the
she's
street
gonna die too
with the blood on her head.
Oh,
yeah, I was like
God.
dead.
It could
She's
be
dead. Anytime someone's like in love with something, Lucasfilm's like, no, we gotta kill them. Dead. I want to be in a relationship. Dead.
I don't doubt that. I
love this person. Dead.
They could do the Han thing, like Han had Kira, and it looked like it was going the right way, and then by the time we meet him in A New Hope, he's like, not really into whatever.
Well, he got completely jaded by her burning him and Lando burning him, and then.
So that seems like it could happen to Andor, similar too, because dead, yes,
because dead,
all dead.
Yeah, living in Star Wars, that's thin odds to survive in Star Wars.
I wouldn't live one day in Star Wars. I'd die so quick.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker died because he was tired from using the Force. Like, I have no chance.
That is a tough subject to bring up.
So, moving on.
That is a
Padme too.
loaded topic.
Right, true. But Mando. So I don't know if did everyone see the Mando's footage?
Either on Thursday or today.
Most people.
Yeah.
Or on a
That-
leaked video. I did. Both. All.
Don't you think that felt different than The Mandalorian, which felt like a serial Western, sort of hokey type of TV Saturday afternoon stuff? This felt more cinematic.
It felt like Filoni was like, hey,
Felt
do you
like
want
it
to
changed.
cry?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to cry? Here's season 3.
Yeah. And I liked the thing that stood out to me. I only saw it once in the showcase panel. They added stuff today. I didn't see. We were in line for 7 hours.
He added
for
the
Mandalorian
Babu
experience.
Fricks, guys. I called that.
Now,
I called that a week ago,
Is
and
it
these guys
him?
laughed at me.
Is
and
it him?
I called it.
Is it definitely him?
People think it's him with like 2 other of the same.
So
He's
there's
81
There's
years
multiple
old.
fricks?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many fricks are there?
A bunch of fricks.
Freaking so many. There's 2 shots. You see him immediately, and you say that's Babu Frick, and then they show another shot where there's 2, possibly 3 more. So
But people don't realize Babu Frick is 81 years old, or 81 or 84 in Rise of Skywalker.
84 years.
Yeah, 84
Yeah.
years. But man, did I call that.
Yeah, you were
I
talking
didn't
about
really
Frick
call
for a
it.
while.
I just really willed it. I manifested.
Well, we made that joke that they would announce a series and it would just say Frick on the
No,
screen.
you asked me what character do I want to know more about, and I said
you said
Babu
Babu
Frick,
Frick.
and you both laughed at me like I'm an idiot.
Well,
And guess what? Here we are.
so another win. Another win. For
Haven't been pied yet, by the way.
Yeah, so we're doing that at like 2 a.m. before we board a plane tonight. Go through TSA with lemon meringue dripping off.
Holding
your face.
my Han Solo thing.
Yes, yeah.
They're gonna be like, "What happened to you?" I'm gonna be like, "It was a week." It was.
But the Babu Frick thing's got me wondering now. Like, even as I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me put this together. Babu
He's a
Frick.
spice runner.
Yeah, Spice Runners, Kajimi. You know, what do we know? Like, is Mando going there?
Oh,
you
guess
know,
what?
like
Dead.
Oh,
Kajimi, gone.
Kajimi's gone. Yeah.
So
Not at
they're
this
gonna
point.
they're gonna give it to you. Filoni's gonna give it to you, and then they're gonna be like,
Oh.
"Hey, remember when we blow that up?
Oh yeah, sure. But it's around
Alderaan,
now.
remember how wonderful this place is? We're gonna blow it up."
Lacey, everything dies. Eventually.
I love all week. Everyone's like, you know why I love your podcast, guys? Because you guys are just so positive.
Yeah.
And sometimes you criticize stuff, but
Dead.
you do it in a really respectful way. Dead. But no, so the one thing I really like, and I only saw it once, so it's really fuzzy to me, but the one thing that stood clear in my mind is Bo-Katan sitting on it felt like a throne, like it looked like
Yeah.
Satine's throne, or I don't
It
know
looked
what.
very Game of Thrones.
It felt like she's like Mad Queen, like she's like obsessed with the Darksaber and stuff like that. And I want to see that version. And they brought Katie Sackhoff out in the showcase panel for that, and no one really else. So she's clearly gonna have a massive role. And I don't know if it's like a heel turn for her. What do you think? Because you know you're the biggest Clone Wars fan of the 3 of us. What do you think about her situation? Do you think she is totally obsessed with the Darksaber to the point where she's
Yes,
now
yeah.
turning to that proverbial Mando dark side sort of thing?
Yeah, especially since, like, I think one of the questions today was like, what can you tell us about the character? And then, like, Pedro's like, you know, kind of like he's like
so
laughing.
bad with secrets. Remember when he
Yeah.
spoiled what the name was? He was like, "Oh yeah, my character Din Djarin."
Oh right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think the question was like, what's your headspace? And then she replies is like, well, at least I have a head. And then Jon Favreau's like,
Oh yeah, right.
Pre Vizsla.
And Dave is like,
used to be best
"I
friends.
love chopping heads
Yes.
off."
Yeah.
No, I got to see the footage again in today's panel
Oh, okay.
for a second
and
time.
They added.
more, and then they replayed all of it again. So I've seen it 3 times. Not that
Did E.
means
McDermott
much
come
more.
out and?
yeah, basically, yeah. People were screaming, "Roll it again!"
Oh my God, could you imagine?
But it's interesting with the Katie thing because I think the vibe that I'm getting is he goes back to the armor. He says, "I want to regain my name," and she says, "It's impossible. You'd have to go to this place." And he says, "Well, then I'm going to this place." So he goes to the place and he says, "I want to redeem my name." And Katie's there, and she's like, you know, she's gonna lay it out. This is what Mandalore is now. Also, side note, you're the leader, or I don't like you right now. I'm not
Well,
sure.
we did
but it's
have that like
definitely
kind
gonna,
of moment at the end of season 2 where he's like, you need to Moff Gideon starts laughing and he's like, you got to kill him.
You
to get
can't
it.
give it to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that
it's
was
like
Game
as
of
he's
Thrones
trying
too,
to
in a way.
reclaim his name, like I think she's going to, I don't know, handle that so strangely.
That's a good
like,
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, at the end of season 2, he said, like, I don't want this thing. Like, I don't want it. And that's, like, very,
He
like...
tried to give it to her.
I don't know if people have watched Game of Thrones here, seasons 1 through 7, but, like, Jon Snow saying, like, I don't want it. I don't want this. Like, and that felt very, like, Din Djarin. And then you have her who, like, starting to feel a little like Daenerys in that way. It's going to be interesting. And, like, the look of it really looked, again, cinematic. Like, they're like, we got to boost up how this stuff looks because like Marvel is like putting a lot of pressure on them. Marvel's a well-oiled machine. Star Wars has had its issues with movie productions, but it looks like they're doing more expansion in terms of how this stuff is stylized and looked. And I do have to say, I think with Obi-Wan, going back to that real quick, I like the idea that Deborah Chow directed the whole thing. So it's not like, this is what Robert Rodriguez looks like with this, and this is what this person looks like, Bryce Dallas Howard.
And the
like,
whole thing was written by one person.
at the end of the day.
Cohesively.
Yeah. So, but I'm really excited about Mandalorian, which I was a little surprised that it's not coming out at the end of this year, even though it ended filming the same time as the other seasons
It's
did
next
in those
season,
respective
yeah.
years. It's 2023.
I think that they're letting Andor breathe a little bit.
That's fair. It's 12
Yeah.
episodes. Yeah.
It also seems like Tales of the Jedi is going to be in the fall.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I didn't see that. I didn't see
They
any of
showed
that.
the first episode
I don't
today.
know, like the
They did?
Yeah.
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 It was Ahsoka.
I was sitting on the damn rug waiting for the Mando experience with you for like
2 hours.
2 hours.
It was
Yeah.
worth it. It was totally
I ate
worth it.
half a
100%.
Pop-Tart, and I'm just like dying with my feet, or like the guy in Andor was banging my feet with that hammer. And this guy's sitting there like, this is the best thing that's ever happened.
Like, hi.
And then we're waiting 2 hours. He gets out of that panel, joins us in line, and gets on the experience.
So, by the way,
You had a great day.
I think
Yeah.
we definitely have to talk about the other thing that we didn't see, but we
Yes.
saw online, which was the Ahsoka stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
It has been James's day.
yeah,
James's
it was
day.
the perfect panel for me. I was sitting there like, all right, Mandalorian, I like Mandalorian, and then it's like, oh, it's Book of Boba Fett as well. Oh, it's Ahsoka as well.
And they called him Mando Plus?
yeah, they called it Mando Plus,
which now
yeah.
makes sense. I thought
Yeah.
it was a joke with Disney Plus, but
I
now
thought it was
get
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, everybody just slowly like coming out like Mandalorian people, and
That
Book of
table
Boba
was-
Fett people.
Can I just say one thing though?
Yeah.
That puppet person had to sit under that table the whole time. Did anybody realize that? The dude or lady was sitting under that table the entire panel until they were like,
How did they bring him out?
no, he
And-
just came out from under the table.
He did?
Like a Muppet.
Yeah. Favreau picked him up, put him down, and probably the cutest thing, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if there's a video of it or not, but he said, "Have a seat, little guy," and then like he like animatronically
Oh my
sits down.
God.
Because someone's under the thing being like,
Yeah.
so that means like Favreau was like straddling a dude. Because he's like, take a seat, buddy. Interesting.
Was it Vince Vaughn?
I don't know.
Might have been.
Which, by the way, Jon Favreau is the best person ever. I just want to say that because
Oh, yeah.
he clearly cares about fans so much. And that exhibit, I was told, he helped pay for. Because
Yeah.
Disney was like, oh, that's too much. We don't want to bring everything. He's like, bring everything. I'll help pay for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that big shot, like at dinner, like bring over a few more plates. You know,
Yeah,
another round on
he's
me.
definitely the appetizer guy.
Yes.
You guys want some apps? And
Yeah.
he like orders apps for everybody.
Yeah. It's calamari.
And then he's the one that takes the bill that's like,
Yeah. He
no,
goes,
I got it.
Cheese sticks? 2 cheese sticks.
And then ends up he made it. And you're like, what?
Actually,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. As we have food trucks out here.
Everyone was bummed that Rosario Dawson didn't come to the show. She did her short little thing
She's
the other
gorgeous.
day. So it was a huge surprise to have her there today.
Oh, today, yeah.
I think they
said
saved her for today.
Well, she pops over. She goes, well, we don't film on Saturdays.
Oh,
I think they
So-
saved her for today.
Possibly.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they brought her out, and then after her chopper,
Oh, man, that's so cool, huh?
yeah. And I that was our first like. Well, I mean, we've all speculated and we've all seen it coming. She says, where's Grand Admiral Thrawn in season 2?
Right, yeah,
we
yeah.
know that's happening, but like the first confirmation of being like, oh, there's Chopper. This is a Rebels
The best
character.
was James was live tweeting the panel, and he just wrote, for some reason, Chopper's here.
Yeah.
And then they're like, he's in the show, and James is like, oh.
And you, and you said the biggest pop was just the back of Hera's head or something.
And
Was it?
Sabine.
Yeah. I mean,
Sabine.
And by pop, I mean crowd. Like,
Yeah.
the crowd got
So
excited.
that footage came up, and it was a lot of similar things we've seen. It's just like shots of her in a hood and stuff like that. Then we get to a scene where she's walking into a room, and very clearly, like in a very distinct jacket, we see the back and the head tails and everything.
People
and,
think
like,
it's Ewan McGregor's wife. I'm forgetting her name. Elizabeth
Winstead.
Winstead from
Mary.
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
Mary Winstead.
Mary Winstead,
Mary
yes.
Winstead. Yeah.
Mary
She's
Elizabeth
great.
Winstead.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. That would be interesting.
Because they said she was in it, but they didn't say who she was. I
Yeah.
guarantee that's who it is.
Wow.
She
That'd
does
be
a
cool.
ton of action stuff, so.
Yeah. So so we see her. That looks great. And then by the end of it, it seemed like it wrapped up. And up comes that scene of the mural, which you're wearing on your shirt right here.
Yes,
nice.
Andrew.
Yes. The mural that we saw at the end of Rebels, and we're like, oh, okay, so wow, it's Ezra right in the middle. He's coming. That's confirmation for us.
Mina Massoud tweeted out
involved.
some sneaky
so
tweets.
Yeah.
So was that? So I'm conflicted on that because if he didn't get the role, then it's like this troll job. And would a professional
That would be embarrassing.
Would a professional actor like that do a troll job like that if they didn't get a role? That seems like a bitter, weird thing for someone like that
I
to do.
don't think it's just embarrassing. Why would you do that?
So I think he
has
he
it.
has
He's,
it.
This is his way of saying he has it without
And
saying
he probably
it.
got approval, but made it look like it
Because
was.
someone had responded to him saying, wow, way to get around your NDA, and he just did the Top Gun with Tom Cruise, like
Top
with
Gun again.
sunglasses
Top
down.
Gun's everywhere.
Yeah.
By the way, Maverick is.
It's great. Go see it. It's great. Better
Yeah.
than the first.
But then Sabine. Yeah.
Sabine,
And
then
the casting
Right.
announcement.
Yes,
Was
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Natasha Bordizzo. I don't know if I said that right, but
Natasha Lubadizo.
yeah.
Something along
I'm
those lines?
bad. Yeah. I'm
It
not
was
very
hard too because it was like everybody's cheering, everybody's going crazy, and Ash Crossan's trying to introduce the person, and I'm like, she walks out, and I'm like, I want
Way
to
to go,
tweet.
Ash, by the way.
Yes,
if you ever listen
yes,
to this.
yes.
Well done.
I want to say who this person is, but I didn't hear the name. And I'm like
Yeah.
sitting there Googling, trying to be like, who was the leak? I'm sure it's the same person.
Right.
Yeah, but no, she came out. She said she was very excited to be part of the experience. They got a big group photo, and it was amazing. And it's just all sorts of confirmation that fans of Rebels are going to get the live-action payoff. This is the 5th season, basically.
Man,
Yeah.
You know?
Rebels fans are living.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Dave
doubt.
Filoni's like, hey, can I sneak Ahsoka in here?
Well,
hey, can I get some Rebels
and
in
that
here?
makes sense because he now, with his promotion and stuff, our first Will of the Force question about like what, clearly he's.
Hey, if I had his job, I'd be like, hey, can we get Ben Solo back?
Yeah, and Kathleen Kennedy sent him to the set of The Last Jedi to learn what it's like to direct. And Rian Johnson's however you feel about that movie.
Imagine he's that guy that just goes up to people and he's like, so do you need Ahsoka in this?
Yeah, right.
Do you want some Ahsoka?
Right.
I really
They're
like
like,
that character,
Dave,
but
no.
you know it'd be better?
It's Luke Skywalker. No, how about Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Like, it's like that Family Guy skit where he's like doing tattoos. And he's like, I want a skull. And he's like, how about a Kermit the Frog?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I want a skull. He's like, I'm going to give you a Kermit the Frog.
So Ahsoka's going to have 40 seasons.
Yes.
That's going to be good.
And I'm going to love it.
No, but she sent him there to learn how to direct live action, and he's now a creative executive, so he's no longer going to be doing animation. So it makes sense for him to move that story to live action. It's not something they haven't done before. Obviously, they did it the other way around, where they did Clone Wars animation after live action. I'm
Right.
really excited to see that. There's certain things about it that I'm not sure about. They said it was a limited series, I believe, a special event series or something like that. So you think it's going to be a one?
They said
one thing?
limited. Yeah.
I think so. Right?
They said limited.
Limited?
Yeah, but we don't even know what that means anymore because Obi-Wan is a limited series, and Ewan's like, I'd love to come
yeah.
back.
And
it's
they
very
keep pushing
clearly
that
like,
narrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
That makes me a little nervous.
So again, and
Why?
and also don't forget too, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Ahsoka, one season done. She's not going anywhere. She's already been involved in multiple shows, and these characters, they're playing in this world. So maybe they do the Ahsoka storyline, but that doesn't mean Ezra and Sabine and other things aren't going to start interacting with Mando and Boba Fett and other
Right.
things like that.
Right.
So it might not be the end of the character. It's not like the 6 episodes or whatever it is like done after that.
Right.
All right. Well, any final thoughts before we move into the next segment?
I'm just happy to be here, John.
All right. Me
Let's
too.
do it.
Yeah.
John, say.
what's our next segment?
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
All right, guys, it's time for Ask the Resistance. I'm hosting this one again. Okay, can I get someone a little better than that, please?
Yeah!
I haven't done this segment forever. All right, so this is where you ask your Star Wars questions, and we give our Star Wars answers. So, does anybody have a question? We will be taking about 3 questions, or more, but 3.
Ooh.
Yes.
Go for it.
Go
yeah.
for it. Say your name.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, David.
This is David. Hi, David. Everybody say hi, David. Go ahead.
In the panel today, Dave Filoni himself called the Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian Season 2.5. Do you think that Ahsoka is eventually Rebels 1.5?
Interesting. So David's question, good question. Today in the panel, Dave Filoni called Book of Boba Fett 2.5. So he was wondering if Ahsoka is Rebels Season 4.5.
Meaning they would
James.
do more after Ahsoka continuing. With the... I'm clarifying. I don't know. You
Go ahead,
get it?
Go ahead, James. Go ahead, James. He's doing the math in his head.
Yeah. So that would be Ahsoka 9. No.
You make 0.5 past
Yeah,
light
the
speed.
4 point. No, I don't even know. I think the 2.5 thing is just because we'd never experienced that. We thought we were only getting Book of Boba Fett. And then they said, well, it's Mandalorian 2.5. That's just kind of how we're joking around about it. But what we're really meaning to say is all of it's connected. It's
Right.
just we don't really
They've
know
been
how
calling
to.
it the Mandoverse,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
we called it kind of internally of that, but I feel like they've now outwardly started saying Mandoverse, Mandoverse, Mandoverse.
Yeah, and I definitely think that this is a continuation or a pickup of those characters' stories for sure.
Right.
So I think privately, you know, it's probably been referred to as the next season of Rebels or the Rebels 4.5. I even earlier I said I think like I joked Rebels season 5 kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it just makes sense that if you're going to go down that route, it doesn't necessarily need to be called Rebels season 5. It just needs to be like the Star Wars universe has always been, where people are crossing paths and moving in and out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
The stories are all connected.
Yeah. I think so. Go ahead.
No, I thought we were only doing one each, but go ahead.
I just want to say real quick, I think if they're getting a new actor to play Ezra, especially someone like Mina Massoud, it's not going to be one of those we found Ezra and, directed by, and that's the end of the story. I think they're going to continue that forward. And I think it would be cool if they were able to bridge, there's that 30-year gap or whatever between 6 and...
Bridger?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
You guys want to talk about Bridgerton?
No.
Oh, okay.
So between 6 and
Love
7,
it.
there's a lot of years. So I think they would do more with Ezra, other than let's bring in a big actor just to do a small part where they find Ezra and end the story.
Noise.
Yeah.
Next. Zubaka.
Will we see a flashback of a live-action Kanan?
Ooh. His question was, will we see a live-action Kanan flashback in Ahsoka? James.
Me
And
again?
James is getting all the Rebels questions.
the
Say,
Rebels.
James.
But we don't need to do one each. I say...
Also, Kanan is your guy. That's like
Yes.
us getting a Ben Solo
if
question.
anybody doesn't know, favorite fictional character of all medium, like of everything,
Yeah.
like Batman included, or whatever.
Okay, whoa there.
I'm just saying he's there. He's number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think no.
Oh.
I don't think so either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have said yes.
Because they showed him in Bad Batch as a little kid,
So,
Caleb Doom.
they like to show characters at all different ages.
But I think if it isn't really a limited series, maybe they do it briefly. But I think they really need. There's a lot they need to tell in that show, because you have to
Right.
find Ezra first. You have Thrawn. Who knows what that relationship is between Thrawn and Ezra now? You have all the Rebels characters you're reintroducing. What's
Right.
going to happen with Sabine? Is she going to get involved with the chase for Darksaber? There's a lot that they have to do. I don't know that you need to flash back to Kanan, other than to say, we want to show you what we think Kanan would be like in live action as a young person. I don't know that that's important, in my opinion. This is my opinion.
My gut says that the show is about Ezra and
Going
Sabine.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the relationship there, not so much Ezra and Kanan or Sabine and Kanan or Hera and Kanan. You know, I just think he's there and he existed and his story has been told through Rebels, but where he fits into this, I'm not exactly sure. But maybe this is the ship you're looking for. Maybe this is the Ezra and Sabine or the happy ending. She goes looking for him, finds him.
I will take it, but then they're probably going to die.
Oh, Maron.
All right, one more question. Who do I want to kind of vacants? Come on, Mark. That is a great question. So we thought that we were going to get movie announcements, us included. I don't think James thought that, but us included. How do we feel that they didn't announce anything, John?
I had heard that there's like the movie side of things or TV side of things on Disney Plus is very, very strong, and there's a lot of things going in the right direction with that. I heard the opposite for the movie side of things. I heard it's kind of a mess, and they may be sort of. And even, I'm surprised Kathleen Kennedy used the words pushed aside when she was talking about Rogue Squadron, because that was the one movie that was actually locked into a release date. And let's be honest,
James had a very interesting thought about Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
After seeing
Remember?
Top Gun.
I forget it.
Well,
Top Gun.
No.
Yeah.
So Maverick.
This actually is relevant, though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we walked out of the movie and I said, I wonder if this is the reason that Rogue One got pushed aside, because they see this, like, it was supposed to be like
Fighter pilots.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
I
that
think she
world.
even said Top Gun in her
Yeah,
thing.
they were like kind of putting it together like that. And as things are coming together, they released Maverick, and it's like amazing. And it's the story and how it was all shot and all this. I think they thought they were going to have the coolest fighter pilot story since Top Gun.
Tom
and
Cruise
now
is like,
Maverick
nah.
drops, and they go, our thing doesn't top that. We need to reevaluate.
It doesn't
It's
top
not
it.
the Top Gun.
Doesn't top.
Or blaster. It's not the top blaster. They don't call it guns.
Tom Cruise was like, "Nah, dog, this is my jam."
I would have
and I'm
Tom-
gonna release
Wild
this
theory.
and Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise
You're going to
produce-
give me all your money.
Have Tom
Yes.
Cruise produce Rogue Squadron. There you go. Done.
Yes.
I don't know if I like that.
I love that. Anyway.
I want him in it.
So anyway, the movies. I've heard it's a mess on that side, and Kathleen Kennedy just recently said the future movies are going to take place after Episode 9 or after Episode 9, around that. So I think they're kind of rebooting that stuff. I don't know what that means for things that exist now. We've seen what the Rian Johnson stuff's been out there for 5 years. We haven't heard anything about that. Taika was announced. I think at this point, when something is announced, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I say that with a rooting interest because we're very passionate about it, and it's not like talking badly about it. It's because we're rooting for it so hard because we love Star Wars so much that it's we want them to do a good job. But I think they're sort of reassessing movie stuff while the Disney Plus stuff is pummeling us with so much content that we're
Right.
going to be good to be very well fed, as the kids say. You made fun of me once when I said well fed.
I did, because that is a kid thing to say.
I'm 39. She's like, no, dude.
You're like 50.
Your mom's 50.
50 out of 50, John. We
Thanks.
love you.
I think Sharon wishes she was 50.
All right. Anyway, that's my answer on that.
All right, and I have a question for you guys. Favorite thing that happened besides today with you lovely people? Favorite thing that happened during Celebration? James.
John Williams.
Good answer.
Probably
Why?
got to be that. I've been thinking for a long time, the higher he goes up in age, that, there's always that chance that we lose him. And
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Good, don't. Dave Filoni's not involved.
And it's been one of those things that I've been thinking about. I need to find a way to go to the thing that he conducts. I need to go to some concert of his where it's really him, and it would be worth the plane tickets and the hotels and everything just to go and experience it. So to have it come to me without asking or knowing anything about it was quite
Yeah.
amazing.
It was moving.
That was mine too. because I know, like, Danny, you've seen him at the Hollywood Bowl. A bunch of you have, and I was so, like, jealous about that. And I was like, I'm never going to see John Williams. He's 90. I was, like, so sad about it. But, I mean, who gets the chance to see him? Not many people. And the fact that that happened when we weren't expecting it, and then Harrison Ford walks out, I got very emotional. I did one of those selfie things, like, I had to.
Remember when I said he was 50?
You guys heard of those selfies?
Yeah. But you know the one where you're taking a selfie, but it's because of the stuff behind you. One of those selfies. But the reason why I love this so much is because he's clearly fragile, because they were walking him out. He's walking very gingerly. He gets up on the platform. But when it was go time, his hands moved just as fast. He was whipping the motion to the flautist. He was in the pocket. Even like, because I was in concert band, and our conductor would move his mouth to like dictate how you should be, you know, playing certain notes and stuff, and he was going like boom, 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 boom to the tubas and stuff. He was right in the pocket, almost like he forgot that he was 90 for those moments, and that was incredible seeing John Williams, in my opinion, in his prime, doing Indiana Jones, Imperial March, and the new Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we saw new
world premiere
new John
of the
Williams
song.
and classic John Williams in front of my face. So nothing could top that. And we met Chewbacca, and that still didn't top that. So 100%.
Well, I figured John Williams would be the number one for all of us.
Harrison Ford's like the cherry on the sundae. Like,
because we said John Williams, and I think everything they said I echo. Like, I got emotional and teary-eyed, and it was one of those things that, like, I am never going to experience this again, probably. I'm going to say Jonas.
yeah.
We met Jonas yesterday. It was very awesome. He has huge hands, if anybody wants to know.
Like a Cadillac.
I'll post the video later. I shook his hand, and it's just this gigantic hand.
And you panned, and it's just like his chest and your head.
Because I go up with the phone, and I don't want to be obvious that I'm filming, so I'm like, hey man, and I have the phone down here, and it's like here, so I stuck my hand out, and he stuck his monster dinner plate hand in frame. No, it was just really nice, and he appreciates everybody and all that we're doing for Make Solo 2 happen, and he was like, you got to keep it going.
He did, yeah.
He did make a joke about hopefully they'll stop making prequels, like prequels of stuff, and I was like, isn't Solo a prequel? That and probably seeing the Millennium Falcon and going on Rise.
That was so fun.
We have so much footage, guys, that we haven't posted yet, and including coming off of Rise, it was just like, John and I are just so shocked.
Me drinking the worst Tourdarian mix blue milk thing. I'm like,
I'm going to be honest, I think...
I kept taking sips of it after you were done with it.
Yeah, it's like you want to believe it's good.
I almost vomited.
It's not.
On camera. I'm not exaggerating. I literally almost threw up.
It was...
So there you go, Disney. You're welcome.
It was our Jackass skit.
I know. I'd probably say above all of that Star Wars stuff, I think my number one thing was being with these guys for a week. We don't get to see each other a lot. Yeah. It was really nice. Because it's like, it's difficult to be... We're together one night a week for like 10 hours on video.
Yeah.
But we're never in person, and it's just a different, thing. And you kind of... jive off each other, and we have jokes, and it's just been really fun.
Yeah, that's...
She threw me too when we were at Disneyland the other day. She said, I think my favorite thing all day, or what, or so far, everything.
Oh my God, yes! My favorite thing was going on Guardians with them for the first time. So I go on. I've been on it, and I love it. And I said, guys, we gotta go on Guardians. And they're both like, I don't really like drop rides. And I was like, we gotta go. So we bought the Lightning Pass or whatever, which, by the way, they're robbing you. Like, what? I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
So we did it just to do it.
We're never going to get approved for another panel now.
Yeah.
Come on, $20 a ride? That's crazy. Anyway, we paid it, so I guess I'm the fool. So we go in there, and I'm like literally like, yeah, so excited. So we get in there, and we get the front row. I asked to get the front row. And so I'm all ready because I know what's coming. They don't. And we get in there, and it was the funniest thing I have ever experienced. James screamed like a woman.
Like Marge from Home Alone.
I literally told myself in the ride, mid-ride, like, don't reach out and grab that bar. And every drop, I would go.
And every time we fell, John's whole body would flail. Entire body, all limbs.
I didn't even realize.
You do this.
Yeah.
And I am laughing. I couldn't stand. I was laughing so hard after the ride. And I said that was worth every penny.
Yeah.
I was crying.
Yeah.
It was funny. And James was just like, ah! The whole ride.
I was very scared of the
girls
ride,
behind
but
me
I did
were
it for
screaming
them.
quieter than James was screaming. And it was worth it. And those are the things that I love about being a part of this podcast and interacting with you guys is like, I almost said use guys. You guys is
guys.
How you doing?
I'm not even from New York. It's just experiencing things with you guys and talking with you about what you love and being fans, and that's what this is all about. And yeah, going to the panels is fun and seeing new movies is great, but like being friends with you guys and talking with you guys and being here is what I care about most.
Nobody came here to hear the news. Everybody came here to hear the news.
Hear you screaming
with
like
people.
a girl.
yeah, that. But everybody came here to meet and see and be with other people.
Right. And it's been a rough 3 years, and we say that a lot, but it's so true. John and I lost our jobs and stuff. It was just really crazy. So I just want to take a second to thank you for being here and thank you for listening to us and supporting us and liking Star Wars with us, because we couldn't do it if you didn't like it.
And that goes
I mean, I'd
to
probably
our live
still talk
stream.
to myself about Star Wars if no one listened.
Yeah. And we do want to say thank you to our patrons who are watching on the live stream.
Hopefully it's
right
still
now,
running.
So.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I do have stuff for people that ask questions. Should I do that quickly while you talk?
Yeah. Well, James, anything final thoughts you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I mean, it's been beautiful. This is our last night. I don't know if anybody's going down the street with us, but after all that's over, we basically are going back to the hotel,
3:30 a.m. We get picked up
and heading back home. So, and then everything just resumes back to normal. But we'll have the memories of the Star Wars celebration forever. And it's been awesome.
And we all have day jobs and we have families. We all have kids, and so thanks. Obviously, our families aren't. My wife's not a patron, so she's not watching this, but. Our families allowed us to do this. Like, I was away from my kids for 6 days, and I was telling my buddy back there, Clayton, like, any advice on leaving your family for 6 days? Because it was really tough.
I cried for 45 minutes leaving my baby for the first time.
It was really tough, but like meeting people for the first time that we've known for a while meant a lot. And I make silly jokes on the podcast because the real world out there is really tough, and jacked fish and stuff. But when I look at all these faces and seeing you guys. I said this at our panel in 2019. It's like the movie Big Fish at the end when he like sees all these people he's had these experiences with, and that's how it kind of feels like to me. So I just want to thank everybody for making this easier to be away from home because it was really tough. Hang on. So I want to show you my favorite piece of swag I got. And my son drew me.
It looks just like you.
On this trip. Yeah, like.
It looks just like you.
Yeah.
Look at all the muscles.
It doesn't look like me.
All the muscles. He's jacked.
He's jacked. But no, thank you all so much. We really appreciate you being here.
Two quick things.
Yeah.
So first, we have another
great.
prize.
Yeah.
It's for best cosplay. I saw an Ahsoka here. Where is she? Come on up, Ahsoka.
Best cosplay.
Best cosplay at the panel.
Don't have to put it on if it's tough.
Ahsoka.
It's okay.
She's like, what? Here you go, Ahsoka. You get a Rey Elite Series
All
with
right.
BB-8. Yeah, there you go. That's right. What's your name? What's your name? She's like, I'm not telling you my name. Okay.
Congratulations.
It's Ahsoka.
That's amazing.
All right, and then one more thing. We have this lovely photo backdrop. That logo, someone can take it home if they want.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to take it home?
If anybody can grab it.
Here's the question. This is for the diehard fan. What was the first thing I said when I joined this podcast? Anybody know?
I'm not taking it home.
I know. Yeah.
The first...
A hint would be what people say when they call into radio shows.
Yeah, radio shows.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah. No?
No, it's not hello there. That is correct. Long-time listener, first-time caller was the first thing I ever said on this podcast. Congratulations. You get to take home that phone logo.
He's like, great.
You can also give it to someone if you don't want it.
So that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to Val and Star Wars Newsnet and all of our patrons at TRB for making this a free event for everyone to attend. Really appreciate that very much. Thank you, Radiant Beer Co. Ryan, you're the king. And Ben, our sound dude. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, brother. And this was wonderful. So
we want to take a photo, though. Don't leave yet. Please don't do that thing where people leave really quick.
Yeah, stick around. Yeah. But no, thank you all very much. And until the next time, from the three of us here, we'll see you around, kids. Stand up.